Fun fact to start this video, I am filming this at 2:15 in the morning because who needs sleep? I need sleep actually. I should probably go to bed after this. Anyways, what's up everybody? David here, and today we're going to talk about some stuff. Specifically, we're going to be talking about printing the mix and moving on with your life. So first, let me start off by telling you where this is coming from and what exactly I mean by that. So for about 1.5 to 2 years now, me and one of my best friends have been working on an EP, 4 or 5 songs actually, that we've been writing and recording over the last couple years. Long story short, he came to me about 2 years ago with some song ideas, and I was just supposed to record them, but ended up helping a lot with writing and just got totally invested in it. And I consider these songs my babies just as much as they are his. So for the last 1.5 years, we've been like polishing up and just finishing writing, and the EP is finally done. And you guys are going to hear it on the channel very soon. Now, before I say anything else, I just want to clarify that I am insanely proud of everything that we've done. These songs are, in my opinion, incredible. I absolutely love them, and I'm proud of everything about the EP. The songwriting, the sound, everything top to bottom. But the mix on it is not perfect. Honestly, I could probably nitpick that thing for days. I think it sounds good. I think it sounds great actually, but it's not 100% perfect for me. Now by this point, you're probably thinking, well, why are you releasing it then if it's not perfect and it's not 100%? And the reason for that is because if I don't, I will never stop nitpicking this mix. This mix has been kicking my ass. I don't know why. Maybe it's because partially like when we recorded the guitars, I recorded these like a year ago and I would have done things completely differently had I had done them today. But I have what I have and the tracks are there and I just have to make it work. And long story short, just the mix has given me a lot of trouble. I've probably mixed it about 3 to 4 times by now, and I've never gotten something. I've gotten stuff that sounds really good that I'm happy with, but I've always kind of never thought it was 100% there for me. And me being a perfectionist, I just could not do anything. I couldn't release it until it was perfect, until I was 100% satisfied. This is why we recorded the last vocal we need like 2 months ago, and the EP still isn't out. So here I am stressing out about it and not wanting to do anything until it's perfect and just saying, no, it needs to be perfect before I do anything with it. It has to be perfect. But on the other hand, my friend who wrote these songs is ready to get them out to the world, and I'm kind of the one slowing him down because I need everything to be perfect. And there was actually one day that kind of gave me an epiphany. So I called Gabe one day and I had sent him some mixes to check out and see what he thought, and I get on the phone with him and I'm like, hey man, I just want to see what you thought of the mixes, and forewarning, I have all this stuff that I want to change. I already hear things that are wrong with it and I need to make more changes. And his response was, dude, I think they sound fucking awesome. He thought the mixes were great and he thought the songs were everything he wanted to be and more. And he was 100% happy with the product. And that was a moment where I kind of realized, like, honestly, to some point, who cares what I think? He is happy. They're his songs and he is happy. Yes, we wrote them together, but to some extent, I consider him a client. And the client is happy with the songs. And honestly, that's kind of all that matters. Our goal is to bring their vision to life and to make songs that they love and to make the songs that they hear in their head. And he told me that that's what I'd done for him. And he was 100% satisfied with the mix. And that was a moment where I just said, fuck it. Like, I'm done and I need to move on from these mixes. So I printed it and that was that, and I haven't touched them since. And now we are getting ready to put these songs out into the world, and I'm unbelievably excited now. So to get to the point, what I'm mainly trying to tell you is sometimes you just have to print the mix and move on. That's it. Especially when you're still learning. Like, you can't be wasting time trying to do the same thing over and over and not getting a better result. And by no means am I saying that I'm not still learning, because I definitely am still learning. I have a ton of stuff that I want to improve on, and I felt like this was kind of holding me back. I felt like I was just putting too much focus on killing myself trying to get these perfect mixes, when at the end of the day, the client was happy and he loved the songs. So, I mean, at that point, who gives a shit what I think? So ultimately what I realized was, if you're working on something and it's kicking your ass and it just doesn't get any better, Sometimes all you have to do is just print it and move on. And you know what? Yeah, it might not be perfect and it might not be the greatest thing you've ever heard in your entire life, but that is a step in your journey. You're going to look back on that mix, you're going to look back on that song a year from now and think to yourself, yeah, you know what, I could have done a lot better. And then you'll listen to the mix that you're doing at that moment and think, wow, I am doing a lot better. And I feel like a big reason for that is because you didn't waste time killing yourself on a single mix, making these stupid 1 dB changes that honestly don't matter. I just think sometimes not everything can be perfect. Not everything is going to be as great as you hoped for it to be. But as much as that kind of sucks, it's also a good thing because, like I said, that's a step in your journey. That's a mistake that you're going to learn from on the next mix that you do. And believe me, it was hard to let it go and just say, you know what, I'm done. It sucked because I am a perfectionist and it was literally killing me because I needed it to be perfect. But at some point, I just took a step back and said, you know what, I feel like this is doing more harm than good and the client's happy, so you know what, print it and move on with my life. So at the end of the day, all I'm trying to say is when it comes to music, when it comes to mixing, especially when you're learning, sometimes you just have to say fuck it and do it. You just have to say screw it and put it out into the world so that you can move on to bigger and better things. And if it's not the greatest thing in the world, you can now learn from that mistake. Especially with mixing. For example, that meme that we've all seen with the skeleton sitting in front of the mixing console and it says trying to get the perfect mix. That shit could not be more true. And I feel like it's really important to not fall into that, to not get stuck in trying to get the perfect mix, especially when you're still learning, because I think to some degree, not all the time, but to some degree, it does more harm than good. And that's why I just decided to say fuck it and print the mix and move on. And that's also why maybe you need to do the same. And also real quick, by no means am I saying that you should not strive for perfection or you should be releasing mediocre mixes. I'm just saying sometimes, not all the time, sometimes doing that and getting stuck in that cycle does a lot more harm than it does good. Just please don't confuse that. Obviously, you should always be striving to do better every song you get. But sometimes I think it's just as important to take the punch and learn from the mistake and move on. And that's it for today, guys. So thank you if you actually made it to the end of this video. And also, if you're interested, I did another video just like this that just gives you some advice on what to do if you can't hear the differences between plugins. So maybe 2 different types of compressors, for example. I got a lot of great feedback on that because people liked that I was just honest and straight to the point. So I'm going to put the link to that video down into the description, and whenever I can, I'm going to keep trying to do more videos just like this where I just kind of sit down and give you some advice from things that I've learned myself. So on that note, guys, do not forget to like and subscribe. There's new videos every single week and you don't want to miss any content. And once again, thank you so much for watching. My name is David, and I'll see you next time.